Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay for you all that do not know, and today I am back with another video, and it is about trial and error being your best friend. So growing up, I always thought that successful people always knew what they were doing. Not just successful people, but like adults, period. And I always thought like, oh, they know what they're doing, and maybe I'm just doing something wrong. But um as I like look at people and I understand what's going on, I realize like they lost like me. They don't know what they're doing. They just experimenting with different things and trying to see what works and what don't work. And that's really just all life is about at the end of the day. But sometimes when you are in that trial and error period, trying to figure things out for yourself, you can feel like you are failing, and that's not necessarily the truth, because trial and error isn't failure. It's the actual process of figuring out your life, and people try to bypass that stage of doing trial and error, but you cannot bypass it. And a lot of people try to bypass it by copying other people, whether it's copying their morning routine. Yes, I've talked about morning routines because that's the one that people love to copy, thinking that just because you copy somebody else's morning routine, that it's gonna make you like them, and that is not the case, because your life do not look the same. And the whole thing about we all got it's the same 24 hours is not true. So you don't need to be copying nobody else. That goes for morning routines. That goes for career paths. That goes for how another person relationship, you think another person relationship is supposed to look. That goes for your content creation. That goes for if you start a new business. It's not going to be the same thing, because what they did was for them and for their life and for their body and for their energy and for how their life is set up. What you have to do is something completely different, and you're not going to be able to figure that out unless you have a trial and error period. Even if you copy in somebody else's life, it might give you some inspiration, but it's not going to give you any alignment in your life. You're going to have to go through the process regardless of how many steps you try to skip. And I understand that trial and error can feel very uncomfortable, because it make you feel like you're wasting time, or it can make you feel like you're behind in life, or it can make you feel like you don't know the right answer, and you just want to know the right answer, and you just want to know that right answer right now. Or you feel like you want certainty, so you're like, you don't want to go through the trial and error process because you don't like the uncertainty. But that's life. Life is uncertain. Everything about life is uncertain. You can count on it. You can bet on it that it's gonna be uncertain. Whatever it is you do, even if it's something good, or even if it's something bad, it's gonna be uncertain at the end of the day. So some different things that people can use a trial and error on. If you don't want to do it on something big like your job or your career, you can definitely do it. Like, let's start small. You can do something like your sleep experiment, to figure out like what's the best sleep schedule for you. I've already talked about that in another video. You could do it with your walking, because I don't believe that 10,000 steps is what everybody need, but that's just me personally. I feel like you need to figure out what it is that you need for yourself. Or even like with your content creation, if you're doing content creation, and you really wanted to do it, but you don't know what to do, you're gonna have to go through a trial and error process. Everybody that has made it has went through a trial and error process with their content creation. I'm still going through a trial and error process. I am very new, and I have tried I'm trying so many things just to see what works and what don't work, so that I can find my sauce. So I can find my sauce, because even if I take some inspiration from here, take some inspiration from there, my sauce ain't gonna taste like they sauce. I need my own. I need to figure out my own sauce, my own recipe. Okay, so that's just what I mean. Like, what's that saying? I can show you the recipe, but that don't mean your sauce gonna taste the same. That's the same with anything in this life. because every time I went through the trial and error process, and I tested out whatever theory that's going up in here in my little brain, I learned about myself and about that thing, and I learned what not to do and what to do, what to continue to do, and I just believe in the process wholeheartedly. So if you want to start small and you want to go ahead and try this process, you can just it's definitely just a something easy. Like I said, you could pick one of those examples, and then you can start off with just after you pick one, then you can test it for as long as you think you'll be able to test it for, whether it's 3 days. I will always start with 3 days, whatever it is you decide to do. As far as like a habit or whatever, start with 3 days and then go or a week, or shoot, 6 weeks. I'm currently doing a YouTube sprint for myself. It's a trial and error process of 24 videos within 3 months, and I am currently on video. I'm on video 22. So I'm almost finished with my little trial and error process of my third time back on YouTube. So I'm very excited about that. And then once you test it out for that time frame, then you observe. You sit back, you observe what worked and what didn't work, and then what didn't work, girl, throw it out. Throw it out like trash, and then move on and continue the process. You might want to add it to something else later on. But that's all that it is. So if you are in your trial and error process and you feel behind in life, just remember, like, you're not behind. You're just collecting as much data as you can. And it's gonna be messy. It's life. So tell me, if you are in a stage of a trial and error stage, drop down below what trial and error stage you are in currently. I would love to hear it. But until next time, I'll see you later in the next video. Bye.